Hello guys, welcome to the Southern Thailand special, as I've decided to call it. You can see my car in the background here. Yes, I'm going to be heading down south by myself. Harry's busy in Kanchanaburi, David's working, Cass is working, and so it's just me. And I'm going to have nobody to talk to, so this is going to be a bit more of a vloggy episode because the only person I'm going to have to talk to is the camera basically. But yeah, we're going to head down because it's been kind of slow around here recently and see what cool snakes we can find. So let's get cracking. I won't waste any more time on this intro, especially as I've got people parking up next to me. But yeah, long drive ahead. Let's go. Okay guys, hopefully you can hear me over the noise of the car. Little update here. It's getting dark. I've been on the road for almost 4 hours now. Got some snacks to keep me going, and I'm very, very comfortable with long drives. That's one thing for sure about me, is that I can drive for like 8, 9, 10 hours easily in a day and not feel too tired and maintain good concentration. So driving in Thailand is a unique experience, you know, of all these trucks and the narrow roads and the sometimes questionable behavior of other drivers, but it's certainly a fun one. I love the side of the road houses. There's a lot to see from the highways here, a lot of habitat to observe, and yep, I'll catch up with you guys when I've decided where to go, which I still have not decided on. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna drive until it feels right to stop, and then I'll get out herping. All right guys, it's about 8:30 p.m. Just showed up at my little accommodation I booked. There's absolutely not a soul here. Walked around, didn't find anyone. So I called the lady and she says she's at her house and my room is unlocked. So gonna unpack, get checked in, and then we're gonna head out herping. All right guys, haven't even got to my spot yet. And I got out to check what I thought was a DOR. And I just see this massive green snake cruising through the trees. I don't know what it's doing. It's an oriental vine snake, a Hatila prasina, active at night, like it was just shooting across these trees, completely undisturbed by me at least. I'm assuming something disturbed it, but let's get it down for a closer look. Check it out, first snake of the trip. One of the biggest prass I've seen in a while. It's not always easy to film and hold large snakes at the same time. But this guy seems to be cooperating quite nicely for us. During the daytime, these can be a little bit nippy at times, but at night they always tend to be extremely docile. And they are, after all, a very beautiful green snake. A lot of people love green snakes. These are one of those species that I get incredibly blasé to, as it's one of the species I've seen by far the most of in my time in Asia. But a very fitting snake to start this trip. You know, you don't get them so often around my area. You have to go kind of into the forest to find them. Whereas here in the south, the Hatila prasina occurs absolutely everywhere. So we're not going to take any pictures of this guy. Just going to set him back into the jungle from which he came. And I'm sure he'll be very glad to go, as you can see. All right, peace out, bro. Enjoy your nocturnal hunting. Can't believe this has happened twice. Just parked the car to go explore that stream and I can see a snake. There's a bridle snake coming out of a hole in this pillar. So that didn't take long. Very convenient stick. Got me our second snake of the trip in maximum 5 minutes of herping. So we're off to a good start. This is, I believe, let's tentatively say DAVISON'S bridle snake, Dryacalamus, or Lycodon davisonii as it's known now. The status of which species occurs in this particular area is kind of unknown, since both occur in the province. I believe it should be Davisonii here, but for all I know it could be a cryptic species in itself. But yes, Lycodon davisonii is a wide-ranging species, but this is one of the few areas I know of where this species can be found in abundance. This is one of the more common species here that I remember from my days 7+ years ago. But yeah, they're very cute. They eat kind of lizard, particularly gecko eggs, which is why you get them in the holes of these pillars a lot, which are absolute prime gecko egg location. And they have a pretty pattern. But yeah, let's keep this video moving. We're off to a hot start, but I started very late today, so I don't have long to stay out. Alright guys, I've got some kind of turtle here. Quite a big one. That nice brown head. Obviously you guys know I know nothing about turtles of Southeast Asia. Like, I have not done the research to be able to ID these guys quickly in the field, but this looks like a nice one, which I actually haven't seen recently. Kind of a hard-shelled turtle. Let's see if we can get hands on him. I've been on quite a run with turtles recently, honestly. Like, on quite a few of my recent outings, most of them not on camera, I've been turning up different species of turtle, and I'll be interested to figure out which species this is. So I'm actually going to take some pics of it before I let it go. But here's a shot on camera. I'll surely overlay the species, but he's pretty heavy. We're really, if you don't know, not spoilt for turtles out here. You rarely get to see them while herping in the forest, and when you do, it's usually just a few, like a couple of the most common species, and even then you don't see them often at all. So always very nice to see a turtle, and a good sign. Check out the size of this Limnonectes blythi. This is like maybe a third of the total size they get max, but these ones here don't seem to be too shy to people, which is a good sign. It means there's like no poaching here. Really encouraging. All right guys, just spotted our target for tonight. It's up there, will be invisible from here. I was just wondering where they were, because I used to be able to turn these up quite reliably here, but right there, it's a beautiful pit viper, Trimeresurus venustus. Let's go. Let's get it out for a better look. Here we go, officially introducing the aptly named beautiful pit viper to the channel. Now this is a species which I've seen many times at this location back in the day, but I've been up the stream for like 15 minutes, and that's usually enough time to turn one of these up. But I was wondering where they were at, and just at that moment I spotted this little guy's head. This is a juvenile. I have never actually seen a juvenile at this spot. The juveniles have a lot less prominent banding. Those little purplish brown bands on the body do change into adulthood and become larger. But juveniles have a very green population, although the adults do retain that here. So I hope we do get to see an adult, but the juveniles are beautiful anyway. It's a very well-suited name, although I don't like it that much because, honestly, the name is a bit confusing. Like, you don't know if you're describing, someone may not know if you're describing it as beautiful or that's the actual name. But maybe brown spotted green pit vipers. No, that really sucks. But yeah, this guy's sitting beautifully for me, allowing me to take some great pictures in its rocky limestone habitat. An absolute favorite of mine. This is one of my favorite species when I was a kid, and I guess the venom from these guys isn't too bad, or at least they're so small, one of the smallest vipers in the region, which means that the venom quantity they inject is not high enough to produce a serious reaction. Either way, not a species I plan on getting bitten by anytime soon, but I've taken my pictures already, so let's set this guy back and see if we can find some more tonight. Let's go, boys. As we're in a very rocky limestone environment, you'd expect there to be rock geckos. And I've seen a few of these scurrying around, but this is the first CHANARD'S rock gecko, Nomaspis chanardi, that I've managed to get a hand on. A species which is quite quaint. I've shot a few of these pictures of these many years in the past, even though they're not the best. These are very common around here, and I could come back and get them any time. So just going to set this guy back now, but these guys are quite cool with their little round pupils and such. That's why they call them day geckos, because you can see these guys scuttling about during the day. All right, peace. You can see his little tail there. Check it out. Oh, check it out, guys. Certodactylus zebriacus. This one with a nice full tail. His lovely green eyes. Extremely beautiful gecko. Like these a lot. All right, after a pretty fast start, things have dried up and haven't had any luck for the last, well, almost an hour now. So I'm gonna hop back in the car, change location, and I'll pick up when I find something. All right, I'm back at the place now. The second spot I went to turned out to be a bit of a bust. So I just called it a night and came back. I was happy with finding the venustus, and I gotta be up early tomorrow. So I figured I wanna get an early night tonight. I was out for like 2 hours. The first 45 minutes were good, but the last bit, yeah, I was driving about to different spots. Maybe if I stayed a bit longer, it could have been good. But I'm gonna get some sleep now, and I will catch you tomorrow. Good morning. It's 8:30 a.m. Just got packed up, and I'm about to head out to my main destination. It's a couple hours drive from here. Not because it's necessarily too much further south, but because it's quite a like a detour inside the hills, and it takes a while to get there. But let's get going, and I'll update you along the journey. Whenever you go into a kind of rural, forested hills kind of part of Thailand, you often have to deal with landslides and the collapse of bridges. This makeshift bridge has been made since the old one has passed away, and they're hard at work building a new one. But yeah, the extreme weather does take a toll on infrastructure. All right, we are nearing our location. You can see some scenery here as we descend into the valley. This is a spot where I used to come fairly frequently back in the day. I've been a few times, maybe 4 or 5, but haven't been much in recent times, so I'm excited to see how good it'll be. I don't think much would have changed, but yeah, I'm excited. Okay, just touched down at my destination. Well, actually I touched down an hour ago, but I finally got checked in. They sorted my room out. And here's a look at the habitat here, this very, very rich. I'd argue that a lot of this is primary lowland rainforest. It's really, really nice habitat. I'm sure some people will recognize this area. It's not exactly unknown, but it is special. Very remote too. Okay, so I decided to, filming my guide. I decided to kill the daytime by going for a little explore into a cave. I can't take my stuff because there's a lot of water, but I'm going to try and bring my phone to film anything we find, and I'll try and keep it dry inside, but let's see what's going on. This is one of the nicest caves in Southern Thailand. This it's got this beautiful clear water that runs through it, and yeah, the general stalactites and stuff are very scenic. This is what I just had to do. Of course, now I didn't have my phone at the time, but have to go again here. Look at this tunnel. So I have to go through. So my guide is enjoying this a lot. So check out this awesome Thogania subplana, Malayan softshell turtle. Just found this guy inside the cave. You can tell it's Thogania subplana due to the 4 spots on the carapace, but this one seems to have adopted a really cool pale coloration. That may be because it lives deep in this dark cave, but I can't believe we've seen this. This is such a cool observation. And yeah, my friends actually came here and said they saw one of these inside, and I thought that was impressive, but I've done the same thing. So they obviously live in here. Whether this is the same one or not, I don't know, but what you can hear in the background is something really cool. So I'm going to set this guy back now. Now I don't know if you can hear me, but just here is a cool waterfall. Very nice. Inside the cave with a big pool. Man, if I lose my phone for this, it's probably worth it. This cave is amazing, it really is. So cool. And the guide is doing a really good job at holding my phone for me. Okay guys, we just found our second soft shell turtle. This one about half the size, but also with this very strange white coloration. And you can see here, these like, you know, these cave dwelling fish, lao, which are pink with yellow heads. Yeah. So, get an up close look at these little bats. Now, walking through a cave with hundreds of bats flying everywhere around you probably isn't everyone's idea of fun. And I'm not the biggest fan of bats in the world. Not like I enjoy having hundreds of them fly at my face, but I guess it adds to the experience. Jesus. Look at that. They don't smell great either. And here we have one of the typical residents of cave systems. It's a giant river toad. Rhinoides aspera. Yes. Well, this is quite a small one as they go. They get double the size probably, but still an impressively large toad. Check this out. On the exit, there's some kind of a Nemaspis, I guess, Nemaspis CHANARD'S complex. I said last night that they're day geckos, and here's proof. One active during the day. Well, That was a quick 20-minute little adventure there. Very fun cave to be in, even though we didn't see any snakes. I'm glad I got to see something that you don't usually see in a cave. I've certainly seen more snakes in caves than I have turtles. So yeah, I've come out absolutely soaked. I was literally, I don't know how the clips would have come out, especially as I gave them to Boss Man to film a couple times, but I went for a swim in the big waterfall at the end and I had to crouch through, yeah. But all right, I think this is going to conclude this first part of the video. I hope you enjoyed this maybe a little bit less herping focused video, but as of tonight, it's game time. It's time to be herping properly, and the following videos will follow my endeavors here in the south to try and find rare and interesting snake species. So fingers crossed we have some luck, and I'll catch you next Wednesday, Thursday, whenever I get time to upload.